This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, we review the first 2 episodes of Secret Invasion on Disney Plus and Extraction 2 on Netflix. Plus, we have our new live-action Superman, Geek Boner, who will and will not be at San Diego Comic-Con this year, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny reaction, and more, all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Monday, July 3rd, 2023.
This is Norm MacDonald, and you're listening to the, hang on, I got it here. It says, the Jock and Nerd Podcast, known for their series of gay erotica found on Amazon, No? That's not that? Oh. Well, I fucked that up, I guess.
Check. Check 1. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up. We talking, we nerding. We funny, disturbing. We talking, we nerding. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah!
What's up, listener? How's it hanging? Thanks for pressing play. Welcome to the Jock and Nerd Podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's the nerd.
And joining us is, that's it. Nobody.
Lame.
What?
Yeah. Right. Hey, so here's what happened. Ruggs got called away on special assignment. He's going to be out for a few weeks, listener. Apparently, what I was told, he disappeared. I got a message from him. He said he is in Romania house sitting for Andrew Tate while he's in prison. Oh, shit. It's quite a gig. It's quite a special gig there.
That's an interesting excuse because Andrew Tate's not in prison
He's not in
anymore.
prison? I wonder what Ruggs is doing. He told me he took a shit in his Bugatti, and now it's a bukkake.
Oh.
Floppy Jock. Not funny.
That's pretty funny. Of course, we always
That's good.
help
That would
Ruggs.
be good, though, if Andrew Tate's not in prison. He's been out of prison for
No,
a
but
while.
wasn't he over there trying to train Elon Musk to fight Mark Zuckerberg in a cage or some
Is
shit?
that what he's doing?
That's what I read. I don't know what's
I
going on.
don't think he's in prison.
All right, well, somebody needs to look after his plants, and Ruggs is watering Andrew Tate's plants in Romania, so he'll be out for a few weeks. That's
There
a
you
little
go.
bit of jock talk right there, but Anthony, I have another, before we start, off the top, some quick jock
Uh-oh.
talk.
Oh, my gosh. What are you doing to yourself?
Comments on this NASCAR race in Chicago. Historic first time downtown Chicago NASCAR race. Lots of preparation, lots of street closures, and then the fucking thing almost doesn't happen.
Yeah, it was kind of a disaster weekend
Yes.
in terms of all the stuff they had planned
Oh,
because
dear.
Chicago just had a torrential downpour the
wash-
entire weekend.
Yes.
Which washed away a lot of the events they were planning for. But if for those that don't know, Chicago hosted a NASCAR race, and it was, I think, the first time. I don't know if it was the first time ever. It was definitely the first time in a while that NASCAR's ever done a street race.
Right.
And this was literally downtown Chicago. What did I think of it? I mean, I watched like 5 seconds of it, maybe, or maybe like 30 seconds to a minute of it. I mean, it seemed kind of cool. The thing about, I don't really follow street racing or racing at all, but the thing is, NASCAR used to be the king in America,
Yeah.
and then now F1 during the pandemic,
Yeah. F1's huge.
it became huge, especially after Netflix really did the behind the scenes stuff on them, or the Drive to Five, whatever the fuck the show was called.
Those are those weird, the flatter, lower to the ground cars with the fins and shit.
Yeah, those are like really expensive cars, and those are cars that are doing more street races type stuff. So F1 has been doing stuff in Austin. They started doing an annual race in Miami. They're doing one in Vegas this year. So I think NASCAR is trying to they've been trying to get out of their image as this southern urban,
Right.
or a southern rural vibe, and try to be more hip. So I think this was their attempt at doing that. And
Do you think it succeeded?
I don't know. I don't know
They
shit.
had events around the city, like in different parts, neighborhoods, where they were trying to get kids involved and stuff. But I felt bad because there was like concerts with the Chainsmoker and all these bands, and all that had to get canceled. It rained so hard. So I watched a bunch of it. It was pretty fucking fascinating. All I know, I don't like racing, but all I know is I used to play Gran Turismo a lot. Everything I know from racing is from video games. So, knowing the line and where you got to hit the turns, and they're driving like Toyotas and Chevrolets, right? I wanted to see what top speed they were hitting. And it was really interesting during the qualifying, when it was dry, the qualifying runs, and the one straightaway, they got up to like 140 just for a second. And then decelerate way down real quick. The acceleration deceleration was amazing as they hit these. There's like 90-degree turns. It was a crazy track. But then in the wet, nobody was going above like 75 miles an hour. And dude, everybody was sliding out, slamming into the tire barriers, the borders, massive like cluster of a jam up bottleneck. It was so much fun to watch. Like if people just slipping out, hitting things. So I never watched racing, but I had to watch that shit. It was like a video game. Like seeing Chicago in the background was fucking cool. Anyways, it's a 3-year deal Lori Lightfoot does before leaving office as mayor. So they got 2 more chances. Hopefully it don't rain. Maybe you check the weather next time.
NASCAR ponied up $50 million to do
Holy
that.
shit. All right. I just wanted to get your thoughts on some Jock stuff. Now on to the nerd stuff.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Enough about racing and Andrew Tate cage fighting people. Got a couple of things in news. We have 2 fun reviews, lots jam-packed episode. Let's start with this. Oh my God. After months of rumors and speculation, it is official. We have a new Superman.
Oh shit.
Get the fuck out of here. Our 4th live action Superman only James Gunn, after lots of screen testing pairs of actors for Clark and Lois, has landed on David Corenswet and Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. David Corenswet, of course, as your new Superman. There were among 6 actors who were being tested, along with Nicholas Hoult, Tom Brittany, and Emma Mackey and Phoebe Denevor in the running for Lois. So, wow. I mean, he announced it's weird that he just came out and announced this. Following this has been very interesting. Opening comment. We'll get into a little bit of the credentials of these 2 and what they're about. But what do you know about these 2? Off the top, what do you think, Anthony?
They both look nice.
They're both good-looking people.
Both good-looking people. I'm looking at your notes right here. They're both mid. I mean, in terms of their age, 29, David Corenswet.
Yep.
32, Rachel Brosnahan.
Yep.
So, kind of, I mean, not super young, just kind of, but not old, just in their prime. David Corenswet, 6'4". That's good.
He's American. It's not a British guy. He picked
That's
an
cool.
American.
That's all I got. I don't know. I don't know shit about these guys.
Okay, so let me break down real quick. David Corenswet does not have a huge set of credits. Best known for being
balls. No, I'm just kidding.
Pearl, a show called We Own This City. He was in The Politician. Something called he was in House of Cards briefly. Elementary back in 2017. Rachel Brosnahan, out of the 2, definitely has more experience and Emmy wins. She's won 14 Emmys and been nominated 26 times, of course, for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on Amazon is her biggest role. She was also in House of Cards. That's interesting. She is Maisel, and I love Ruggs' first comment was like, we got Sweaty Corn and Miss Maisel for Superman. And that's kind of where we're at. I thought James Gunn would pick someone weird. It is someone unknown, but apparently this was the internet favorite, was David Corenswet. If you Google David Corenswet, Henry Cavill, and look at the pictures of them side by side, I would be hard pressed to pick which one is which. If you squint hard enough, David Corenswet looks just like Henry fucking Cavill. Do you see it at all?
He does. No, he does. There is a resemblance there.
There's a little bit
they
of
don't
resemblance.
They don't look exactly alike, but
right?
they look alike.
So I think
there's a little bit of. If you took a quick glance, you might think it's one guy or the other.
Yep. It's that exact look-alike. So it's a little interesting that he's like, I'm gonna go with a guy that looks kind of like Henry Cavill just to keep things. I don't know, changing things up.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good-looking dude.
He is good. Hopefully, he can act or he can be directed and molded. And I think Rachel Brosnahan will be there as kind of a little more veteran experience to help. She is great. I can absolutely see her being like the Margot Kidder, Lois Lane, who is like gets into trouble, doesn't take no for an answer, goes after the stories, got a lot of balls. Like, she's perfect for that. She's very great. She's great in Maisel. So I'm happy with that one. Corenswet, that's the thing. I don't know a lot about him. And I think Henry was also kind of an unknown and kind of skinny in his first suit test.
Henry? Was it?
Yeah. I saw pictures going around. People on Twitter are like, if you're yelling about how skinny he is, look at this picture of Henry Cavill in this test of the suit. And he wasn't jacked that much at all. He was very lanky. He was interesting. So they can bulk this guy up.
Oh yeah, he did. He was gonna.
Yeah. Look
I don't know if these are real photos or not.
I don't know.
Yeah, he was a little lanky.
I mean, now the fucking guy is huge. But I mean, superhero workout, they can afford it. Nutritionist.
Yeah,
bulk
he
him up.
can.
So the only thing
Look at
hanging
that.
is how good Corenswet it's going to be and what the script is. Apparently, the movie will take place in a world of existing superheroes. So, and this is a young Superman who's a beat reporter, I guess, still. And he said the Authority that he's going to set up later will be in this movie. And the Authority is like just another Suicide Squad. So he's doing Superman with the Suicide Squad in it, essentially.
Oh really?
Do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I have to take him at face value.
I mean, he said this, and I guessed that when he released the slate and he went over the Authority, I was like, you know what? You could introduce them in Superman. They could be the bad guys.
You think so?
That's what he's doing. The Authority is going to be in this movie. And
Wow, that's such odd, but I guess.
Yeah.
But he's doing an Authority show or is it a movie?
I think the Authority is a movie.
The Authority
Will be a movie, right?
Yeah, I guess so. It is.
Yeah.
New DC movie.
Man, okay, so he's still got to cast, like, there's rumor that Nicholas Hoult might be cast as Lex Luthor still. I could see that. He'd be okay.
Yeah, I could see that.
And he's got to cast the others, but he's got a lot of work. He's got a lot of damage to repair. You think this is even going to work?
That's the thing. He's got so many. There's just so much leaking water in this DC boat.
Is sinking. Has been sinking.
And I just don't know if he's going to even be able to dock the boat in time to make a new boat.
I mean, it's going to have to bring some James Gunn magic to make this special.
I mean, if he can make an awesome Superman, I think that'll can help turn things around. But
it's a start.
There's just not a good run right. I mean, now not a good lead up right now with the Flash and Shazam and Black Adam, and you got Black Beetle or Blue Beetle coming up, which I don't think anyone thinks looks all that great. And
two more flops.
Aquaman 2 looks like.
I mean, James Wan, I also read, he said Aquaman 2 is going to be standalone, doesn't really affect anything, which is smart, obviously. Mm-hmm. But man, I think they're looking at two more flops before the year is out. Maybe we'll see. Blue Beetle could surprise if it finds the right audience and they come out. And Aquaman, I don't know. That first movie made $1 billion. And I still don't know why. Maybe Momoa he's enough to get people, but there's so many this year, and a lot of them are not doing well. And yeah, it's very interesting.
We'll see. We'll have to see. I'm not confident right now in what they have coming out and it helping turn around anything.
All right. Speaking of confidence, here's a follow-up question, and it regards the confidence of one San Diego Comic-Con convention. So James Gunn he releases this last week when Comic-Con is coming later in July. Kind of odd timing. We're used to big announcements at the Comic-Con. Well, here's the thing. Comic-Con 2023. Here's who's out and who's in. Who is not coming and who is showing up. Here's who's out of Hall H and the whole Comic-Con this year. Marvel, Lucasfilm, Disney, Netflix, Sony, Universal, HBO, and Paramount Plus. Oh, shit. They're out. Yeah. Here's who's in Paramount itself, Prime Video, Lionsgate, and Max. For a while, DC...
Isn't HBO and Max the same thing?
No, well, HBO would be more your HBO premium cable shows. I think Max would be the larger original shows on this combined merged fucking thing. So for a while, uncertain, up in the air was DC's decision. DC Comics was going to show up. Warner Brothers DC, they had not said anything. But now, apparently, if you believe James Gunn's Twitter, who someone asked him, are you coming to Comic-Con this year? And he says, I won't be there this year, but probably next.
Oh, shit.
Meaning, if Gunn's not there, I don't think Warner Brothers is going to be at Hall H as well. Do you think?
I don't think so.
Right? Wouldn't that make sense?
Well, I think what's the problem is, one, I think Hall H is a big investment for these studios, and I don't know that they see a big return on it. But two, the thing you're going to touch upon later is how can you really announce anything with this writer's strike?
There's a writer's strike update, week 10, still on strike.
Oh, shit.
It's been 10 weeks, a little over 2 months. Yes, everything is being delayed. The Boys season 4 release date has been indeterminately pushed back. They didn't even give a new release date. They were just like, when the writer's strike is over. They couldn't even give you a date. Everything's on pause. The SAG-AFTRA Union, Actors Union, actually got their deadline extended to July 12th. So we will find out if they strike or if they take a deal. They got a little more time. But yeah, with all that going on, you really can't do the showing at San Diego, which is in July, right? Late July. It's coming up.
Yeah, it's late. Yeah, late July.
So let me ask you this year, is it the worst year to go, or because no one's going to be there, you're not going to have to see all that shit, or would it be the best year to go because you don't have a lot of lines, the traffic is less, it's going to be more about the comic books? I don't know.
I mean, it depends. That's all a matter of perspective.
Right.
So if you're one to go there for all the big debuts and footage screenings and see celebrities, maybe this isn't the greatest year. But if you're there as a pure comic book fan and want to be able to experience a bunch of things and not sit in line for a whole day to get into Hall H, then this is your year.
Oh, like the old days.
Like the old days, as if we're all about the old days.
I'm all about the old days. Here's the thing. This is still like a bucket list item for me, but every year this conversation comes up. Like, is Comic-Con done? Like, is it even going to be able to continue? Like you said, all these people are out. They all have their own events. They have like DC Fandom and D23 and their own streaming services. It's so fabricated. It saves them money. Can you see it still being around in like 10 years, 20 years?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll find its place. Yeah.
All right. When it's at its bottom, when nobody's going, that's when I'm going to go. That's going to be the first time I cross it off my fucking bucket list. I still want to go, but every time I see the videos, there's so many people in lines. I'm just like, I don't know if I enjoy this. It's outside. There's sun. It's hot. I don't know. Anyways, listener, let us know what you think. You can get joined in this conversation. Join our Facebook group. It's called Jock and Nerd Nation. Jock and Nerd. Lots of fun listeners hang out there and post all sorts of memes. There's spoiler threads for stuff coming out. It is closed, exclusive group just for you. Get in there, geek it up. Okay. First review of 2 time. We are going to be reviewing the first 2 episodes of Marvel's latest TV show on Disney Plus, Secret Invasion. Here's your spoiler alerts.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Prepare to be spoiled!
This on Rotten Tomatoes, the show is at 63% tomato meter. The average, the other score is 72% audience score, 6.6 out of 10. Of course, this show features the return of Sam Jackson as Nick Fury to Earth. Also, you got Ben Mendelsohn as Talos, Colby Smulders as Maria Hill, Oscar-winning Olivia Colman as Sonia Fallsworth, Emilia Clarke playing Gaia, Kingsley Ben-Adir as Gravik, and cameos by Don Cheadle and Martin Freeman, and lots of fun people. Great cast. Anthony, how do you want to go over this? Give me your overall thoughts. I want us to put aside the conversation about the opening credits to the end because that got
the opening credits.
That got people mad. I'll get into it. People were mad. I want to know what you think about that later. Give me your overall.
I didn't even know there was anything with the opening.
There's a whole thing, my friend. It's fantastic.
Great.
It's the internet being the internet.
I think we should just talk about this episode, these as like a whole.
Okay.
So we're just talking about 1 and 2, and if you want to reference one specific episode, you can. But
All right.
as a whole thus far.
As a whole, 2 episodes titled Resurrection Promises. What did you think of the tone and where we're at so far? What happens? Give it a quick plot recap, actually.
Yeah, so Fury has been called down to Earth after he's spent some time up on a space station for a while. And the reason he is being called down is it looks like Earth is in a powder keg sort of situation with the U.S. and Russia. And it looks like there's these terrorist attacks that seem inconspicuous at first and not connected, but they are all seemingly connected because the Skrulls, or a faction of the Skrulls living on Earth, has decided to set in motion a way for humans to destroy each other because of the fact that they were promised by Nick Fury back in the 90s that Nick Fury and Captain Marvel would find them a home outside of Earth, and they haven't delivered on that promise. And if you don't remember who the Skrulls are, they are the shape-shifting aliens from Captain Marvel that were in war with the Kree and lost their home
Refugee alien.
planet.
Yeah,
Yep.
refugees. This is kind of a sequel to Captain Marvel, essentially-ish. Right? It's the storyline picks up after seeing Nick Fury on Saber here and there, seeing him as a Skrull in that Spider-Man movie because he wasn't there. So solid setup, right? Rebellion, conspiracy theories. They're fed up. The terrorist plotline is a little bit similar to Winter Soldier and the Falcon. You also get some Captain
a little
America Winter Soldier vibes. Did you think, were you getting that?
Yeah, the tone of the show is a bit more, I would say it leans a lot more serious. I didn't really laugh at all. I don't know if I laughed.
It's kind of refreshing after a couple of these funny shows, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel. I mean, even Moon Knight had a little bit of humor, but now this is like serious spy thriller. I do love the tone and the whole, when they set up like, what if Skrulls are everywhere? You're going to be constantly questioning who's a fucking Skrull at any moment. That's great.
Yeah, there's definitely a seriousness to this, and as you said, with the way the Skrulls are, it lends itself to a lot of who can you trust type thing. So far, I guess we'll start by do I like it?
Yeah,
I'm not over the moon about it, but I'm not necessarily offended by it either. I think it's a little bit of a slow burn.
Yeah.
Which is not something we're used to with Marvel shows. Yeah. We're kind of used to them starting hot and then kind of petering out in the middle. Yeah. And this one's a little bit of a slower burn. I kind of feel like it's it's kind of almost trying to be an Andor type show.
I was going to say it reminded me of Andor. Andor is amazing. I don't know.
I think Andor's at least notch or two above what we're seeing.
I will agree, but I do enjoy that they're taking their time. I do enjoy the slow burn. It's a different pace, different tone. So I've been digging it so far. I'm like, because they're ending with these crazy cliffhangers.
Yeah, I mean, we're
gonna get into the highlights of the episodes.
Do you want to go now, or do you want to hold off?
Let's do quick highlights. So. First episode, right away, Everett Ross meets this dude, and he tells him there's Skrulls everywhere, and Ross kills that dude, he runs, he gets killed, he calls Maria Hill for an extract, Ross dies, he was a fucking Skrull.
Oh, shit.
How long was he a Skrull? What do you think? Is this a new Skrull? Has he been a Skrull this whole time?
That's a good question. I didn't even think of him being a Skrull this whole time, but I thought it was just he was a Skrull in that moment because they needed
someone
was on to them.
But he had like Maria Hill's, like he called her for an extract, like he was Everett Ross. He was trying to get out of there, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That was wild way to open it. I love Fury's returning to the planet in the shaft of light. It's fucking badass.
Like an alien.
Yeah. Well, and he's not wearing an eye patch. He's vulnerable. I thought it was hilarious in the first episode. 3 people tell him, "I think the blip changed you, Fury. You're not who you were."
They keep saying that he's not the same guy. He forgot about his mission here with the Skrulls. Yeah. So,
do you think he's playing them? Do you think he's acting all weak and he knows what he's doing? He's a step ahead, because right now he doesn't seem to be a step ahead.
Oh man, that's a good question. that didn't cross my mind. It felt more like they're trying to get Fury's groove back, and he's not the same guy that he used to be, and that he needs to kind of take back the reins of what he's got. I mean, candidly, already throughout this first episode and then into the second, I know you're going through highlights, meaning you're just going to narrate everything. Don't do that, Imran. I'm just kidding. I have a tough time. One of the things I'm already having a trouble with is I have a tough time sympathizing with Fury.
With Fury, huh?
Yeah, I feel like he's kind of screwed the Skrulls.
He did. He abandoned them. It's been 30 years.
Yeah, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, 30 years of him looking for a home and not doing anything.
I think that's the beauty of Gravik and that whole faction is you can kind of sympathize with them. Like, I mean, I get it. He promised you a thing. Nothing's happened. And even in the second episode, there's that great bit where he's telling them, you help me out, protect this planet. I'll find you a new one. So he's been using them as the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, as his little lackeys to get shit done. Meanwhile, they got nothing in return. They still got to hide. They still got to look like humans. I'd be pissed too. I'd be pissed. I think
the thing is too is I don't know if this was in the second, it may have been the second episode or maybe the first. I don't remember. They're kind of blending together, but yeah. Nick Fury brought them into humanity as spies with the promise of getting them a home later. It's
his kind of fault that they're there.
Well, it's not his fault that they're there necessarily because Talos invited them over,
right?
But it's his fault in that he made a promise to them that he's not delivered on so far. Maybe we'll learn why later that he wasn't able to deliver on it.
But, what has he been doing? Jesus. Yeah. He didn't call anyone. I love that they can live in abandoned nuclear power plants because the radiation doesn't affect them. That's fucking clever because there's tons of those. That's probably going to come into play. Notice we have a President Ritson right now, and we know Harrison Ford's going to be President Ross. I wonder if that happens in this show.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
And what do you think about Rhodey kind of being the fucking government lackey here? And he's kind of a dick, but he also has some points.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good use of Rhodey. It seems like a natural progression for that guy, for that character.
Olivia Colman is amazing. We'll get into the second episode what she does. She is like amazing actress and adds a lot of weight. But then that first episode ends with Gravik killing many, many innocent people with bombs, and then he shoots fucking Maria Hill.
Oh, shit.
And it ends with her in Fury's arms as Fury.
Yeah, I mean, he was chasing around Gravik, and every time they'd turn a corner, it'd be a different person he was chasing.
That was great. I love that.
My question in that is they were trying to attempt to foil that explosion.
Yeah.
And it seemed like Gaia was on their side.
Yeah.
But then she
switched something out.
She switched something out, or was she not on their side? Was she double crossing them? I was a little unclear what was happening there.
So, yeah, I mean, there was the marked bags, and both episodes, I'm not sure what side Gaia is actually on. If she's she's playing both sides to see what's the best. It seems like she doesn't want Gravik to kill all these people, but she's helping him. But she also wants a place for her people, but she doesn't want to kill her dad. We find out his wife died, Talos Soren. That was sad.
Yeah, I guess.
We didn't really know her. Anyways,
didn't really know her.
Yeah, so the Gaia thing is interesting. I don't know which way she's going. It's unclear. So the second episode I thought featured some amazing conversation, amazing dialogue. Yeah.
Well, Maria Hill's dead.
She's dead. So it starts right there. She's actually dead. She's dead.
Yeah, I guess she's dead. I mean,
oh shit,
is she dead? You never really know with Marvel. That being said, I thought it was a little bit out of left field that they killed Maria Hill. But then I thought about it more and I was going, well, they want the show to mean something.
Yeah.
And Maria Hill is a pretty solid character in the comics. They really haven't done anything with Maria Hill ever.
No, and is this her?
Toby Smulders as Maria Hill has really just been kind of a flat character throughout this entire run.
Is this her exit from the MCU?
It's a little like inconspicuous exit. I really didn't think they would just kill her on the first episode of a TV show.
I know.
So I thought that was a little out of left field. I'm still kind of in shock about that one.
I don't know.
Not even in like a, man, I really love Maria Hill. I was just going,
whoa,
interesting thing to do here. I don't really know how I'm supposed to feel about this.
That's a major character. You're just often on this show. I was waiting for her to like turn into a Skrull or something. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Other highlights from the second episode. We already mentioned they do the flashback of like after Captain Marvel and he's recruited everyone, and there's that great scene where they all step forward and change into people one by one. And he wants them to help his planet. And then the conversation that he has with Talos on the train is also great. You can Talos' frustration, absolutely justifiable. Where he's like, we were being hunted across the universe. And we find out there's 1 million fucking Skrulls on the planet Earth.
Oh, shit.
And Fury's like, out of your space lizard mind. So great.
Well, I thought that was a decent conversation, although if I could put on my rug boy hat here.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Oh, boy.
I'm putting on my hat.
Okay.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
Why would they have, if they're such good friends, why did they have that conversation 30 years later?
I know. Why did it take so long?
Why did he hide that from him?
Yeah.
Why did Talos hide that from him?
He plays, tell me something I don't know after the long story he tells.
Yeah, like, why is this something,
Why
if
is
you
he-
just talk about this now, later,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
not later, excuse me,
Yeah.
when it's happening,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess the only reason I can think of is he hid it from him because he knew Nick Fury wouldn't want 1 million Skrulls on the planet that can aliens that can shapeshift on the planet, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
Even Nick is like, "You're telling me now?" I love his line. He goes, "There is not enough tolerance or on this planet or room on this planet for another species. Like people are bad." So that leads to like there are Skrulls in the government. There are Skrulls already in power. The Skrull Council votes Gravik to be their leader. Gravik, of course, sees himself as the hero.
yeah. So this is where they're doing the thing. In the comics, the Skrulls had infiltrated all the superheroes, but
Yeah,
in this, they instead the way they're doing this is they're spinning as the Skrulls have been involved in government for all this time, or
This is the invasion,
military and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yes, heads of state and all those people at those meetings. They also kind of confirm there's no official Avengers team currently.
No Avengers, and they kind of come up with a clever way to write out the Avengers, where they say if we get them involved, the Skrulls will start to mimic them, and
Right.
then there's going to be some real trouble there.
Yes, and there's something in the comics called a Super Skrull, right?
Yeah,
The Skrull that has all the powers of all the Avengers, and it looks like Gravik is building a Super Skrull. There's a scene where we see Gaia kind of snooping on the computer, and you see that they have DNA from Groot. They have DNA material from a Frost Beast from Jotunheim. They have DNA from Cull Obsidian, and they have Extremis. He is going to make them all like Super Skrulls, probably, with all that shit.
well, they said later on that he's making a machine to make them stronger.
So that would give him like stretchy powers, ice powers, heat powers.
Well, I think the thing is, it's at least my interpretation of it thus far is that they can mimic someone, but I don't think they have the powers of that person.
Oh, interesting. We do also see how they like steal the memories and kidnap people and replace them. It's kind of interesting. And then another fantastic conversation between Rhodey and Nick Fury, which ends with Rhodey just fucking firing Nick Fury. And this is Nick Fury utters probably top 5 Nick Fury line of all time. When he says, when he goes, "You're out," and he goes, "I'm Nick Fury. Even when I'm out, I'm in." I was like, "Fuck yeah, that's badass."
Geek boner.
That's great. That's the best Nick Fury line I've heard in a long time, and he's got a lot of great ones.
What about when the one where he says, I think it's Iron Man 2, something about the, here, wait, let me look it up real quick. "Sir, I'm going to have you to exit the donut." As
when
Tony
he's
Stark is sitting
he's
in the donut.
that donut.
Yeah.
No, he's got some great lines, but even when I'm out, I'm in. But what'd you think of that conversation, man? The whole thing about talking about black men and their power, and he's like, people like us don't get these jobs easily, and the two sides. Is Rhodey a fucking Skrull, you think? Is the president a Skrull? Everyone could be a fucking Skrull at this point if there's a million.
That's
of these
true. Yeah,
fuckers.
you don't really know. So that I think that's part of the intrigue of the show is you don't really know who's talking to who. Yeah, I mean, this is a very dialogue heavy show for sure.
I love the writing in this episode, and then we get another quick scene with Olivia Colman torturing a dude, and she's so good, like all chipper and smiley, and like, "Oh, I'm fine, you guys can go. Oh, by the way, where's your escape hatch, just in case?" Like she knew what was going to happen, and she said,
I love that she just goes and cuts that guy's finger
Yes,
off to
right
confirm
away.
he's a Skrull.
"Yes,"
And
It's
then
like, there
just
you
starts
go.
making his blood boil. Like
Yeah.
this is definitely in terms of tone,
Holy shit.
a little bit different than what we're used to with these Marvel TV shows, which is a nice change up.
Well, even it's a little bit violent. There's a little bit of blood. It's it's a little more mature in the action, which I'm really enjoying. Olivia Colman's great. So then, Gravik kills his own dude. There's a one dude on there who's like, maybe you better calm down. Fitting that Kingsley Ben-Adir is playing this. He played Malcolm X in that movie, and Gravik is a little bit Malcolm X-y. It's a little bit by any means necessary. We're gonna take back what's ours, right? I love it. So he kills his own dude, and then the big twist cliffhanger at the end of this one. I don't understand at all. We see Nick Fury coming home. We see this Skrull woman cooking. We see Nick Fury enter the house. She changes to a human, and they embrace. This is his fucking wife. She reminds him to put his wedding ring back on. First of all, Nick Fury's been married this whole time. Second of all, does he know she's a fucking Skrull? What is happening?
No, I think he does.
He does. I
think he's uniquely tied to this because
he's married to
a Skrull.
Holy shit. Did we know he was married? He did. He would talk about his wife, but it was like in code. Remember in Winter Soldier, when they're bugged, he's having that kind of conversation with Captain America, but he's using it as code. But fuck, he really had a wife.
Yeah, right. So maybe that's part of it. Is the reason he doesn't want the Skrulls to leave is because he's married to one. But I don't know if that'd be enough reason to renege on your entire promise. To
but there's good Skrulls and bad Skrulls also, which I find very interesting. So the good ones, you can absolutely help do stuff on the inside. You can use them. But you don't know, and you don't know if they can flip. We see a new Skrull being recruited into the group there. I don't know. All of the dynamics so far, I've been digging. So I enjoyed these two episodes.
It sounds you really enjoy it so far.
It was great. It kind of like makes your head spin. You're like, what the fuck? Who's a Skrull now? I love the tone. It's gritty. It's a little more mature.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue in terms of what I said earlier. Is I'm lukewarm on it. I like the change in tone. I think in theory, I think there's a lot of good stuff here, and there's 4 more episodes to play out.
Yeah,
I think this would work better. I think if the Skrulls weren't just somewhat of in Captain Marvel. I know they've been in a couple other things here and there, but I don't really feel an intense relationship towards the Skrulls like they've been here this whole time, even though they have.
Yeah.
So I'm having trouble investing in the Skrulls' plight of being in Earth for 30 years because we just haven't seen very much of their characters. So that's
a good point. They've been around, you don't know.
And see, I mean, this is a different take on Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
Secret Invasion in the comics was more superhero based. This is a little different. We'll see how it plays out. I have to admit, the first episode I watched it, and I wasn't like dying to watch the second one.
Yeah.
But I think I think the pace is a little bit different, a little jarring for me, but we'll see how it plays out. I don't think it's bad. I don't know that I'm fully on board yet.
It is. I mean, I don't have that immediate feeling on the Wednesday to be like, holy shit, I got to watch this right away. I'm more like, I'll get to this probably today.
I think that's the same thing I'm feeling too. For instance, that debut week, I didn't watch the first episode until this past week.
I didn't watch that first episode until a few days later. This is a low buzz, not a lot of buzz.
No,
it's
not
very
a lot of
interesting. The screeners were sent out. There was some early reviews. A lot of people said it is a slow burn in the beginning. I don't know if people are burned out, but it's different. It's a change of pace from the last few, but not a lot of buzz. And there's a lot of shit on television coming out right now. Also, maybe it got buried. Let's see how it ends with only 4 more episodes. So in a month, it'll be done, and we can see how crazy it gets. Okay, let's finish talking about the opening credits. Now, as a layperson, you said you had no idea what was going on. What did you think of the opening credits? How would you describe them? What did you think?
It's like an animation type thing going on.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
It's a lot of green.
It's green. because of Skrulls. That's it. Nothing stuck out.
Else? No, what's going on?
So the opening,
I watched it the first time and then I skipped it.
and
the
then you're
second
going to
time.
skip it every time. The opening credits were made using AI image generating things.
Oh.
Okay, so in a lot of ways, this makes a lot of sense. This kind of animation I've seen a lot, and they purposely seem to have used an earlier version of the animation that didn't do faces well. It's grotesque, it's weird, it's shapeshifty. I think it absolutely fits with the show. I kind of like some of it's like Skrull cubism.
Yeah, but I'm watching it. I like it.
The cubist kind of angles and shapes. Skrull cubism is what the guy said. People got angry right away at the internet because there's a lot of artists out there who are anti-AI art, pro-human art, and a lot of people who also may not know what they're talking about at the moment, jumping on this boo AI, don't use it, bad, it's replacing artists. When the fact of the matter is, it kind of takes artists to create this still. It takes art directors, it takes coders. You still need people you got to prompt the thing. You got to type in words and continue to keep regenerating to get close to what you want and then put it together in an animation. So I know I talked to Ruggs in the Discord. He said it looked ugly and grotesque, but I think it's purposely ugly. Like, it makes sense. The last shot of that eye, the close-up, the weird way everything's kind of jittery and it shifts, and the shot of Nick Fury where he just looks distorted and weird. Like, it absolutely fits this tone of this spy, Skrull, shape-shifting thriller. So I think that hate was just a little bit blown out of proportion. I get it, though. I get it. When this shit started, I was also anti-boob, anti-AI robots that taking out jobs as an artist, as a creative. But the more I used it, I'm like, fuck, dude, this shit ain't going anywhere. And it's kind of amazing. And I need to learn how to use this. Because here's the line. AI won't take over your job. A person who knows how to use AI will take over your job. There's your line. That's what's going to happen. That's all you got to remember. So used as a tool, I don't see anything wrong with it. It fits the show. That's my take. But people were mad. Oh, what they mad.
I had no idea. Then again, I'm not on the internet like that. So
all over Twitter, people were just like, "Fuck this show." Use AI
Really?
for the
Wow.
beginning. Yeah, it was crazy. So maybe that also, maybe it hurt the viewers and people checking it out. But and the thing is, it's a trendy kind of thing right now. They jumped on the trend. It tied into the fucking motif. I don't see the problem. Ruggs doesn't.
I don't see a problem.
Whatever. Ruggs is not here.
Not
Ruggs is not
funny.
here.
I'm gonna say it's great. Okay.
Otherwise, he would be on. And
He'd be like,
is that,
Get the
that-
fuck
was that-
outta
that's an
here.
accurate portrayal, right? Oh,
that's pretty good. That's pretty close. Here's Ruggs right now.
oh, it's not that great. I've seen better.
I really don't give a shit.
He'd be like,
Fuck that show.
I don't know what he thinks. We'll find out when he gets back from Romania, house sitting for Andrew Tate. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick break here, play some promos, and come back and review a new Netflix action movie right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey there, everyone. Brian here, host of TV Trivia Pod. It's a trivia-style podcast focusing on TV and movies. Listen in for questions like, what's the name of Michael Scott's screenplay? What do you say to view the Marauders map? And what's everyone eating in the post-credit scene of Avengers? Play along to TV Trivia Pod anywhere you get podcasts. And stay tuned for more trivia.
Have you ever been reading through a stack of comics and thought, maybe I should see what this Arkham Asylum game is all about? Or been playing Marvel vs. Capcom and felt like you were at a real disadvantage since you didn't know who half the characters were? Well, Play Comics is the show for you. I'm Chris, and each episode we take a look at video games based on comic properties and how well they stick to that source material. So whether you know the comics and want to know how all these games work, or you know the games and want to find out where all this craziness came from, go check out Play Comics at playcomics.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Listener, if you enjoy this show, it is a great time to join our awesome Patreon fan club. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Jock and Nerd. and you can give back on a monthly or annual basis and get stuff. There's a bunch of tiers with benefits. There is an exclusive podcast feed where the shows go out early. There is bonus content, instant reactions. Spoiler for later in the show. Guess what I saw?
What did you see?
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
We'll have to get your thoughts later.
So I put up a quick kind of reaction review on Patreon because we are not going to be reviewing it on the show. More about that later.
Okay.
You also get Discord benefits where you can hang out every month on our Discord server and geek out. July's Discord will be July 20th, 8 p.m. And you can also pick any movie for us to watch and review. Lots of fun stuff over on the Patreon. Go over there, sign up, click it, do it today. Okay, second.
Nothing like a good Patreon.
I love a good Patreon. Don't Patreon us me. Patronus. It's like a Harry Potter thing. Second big review. We are taking a look at the Netflix actioner Extraction 2. Right now, here's your spoiler alerts.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
Spoiler time. Did you know this was all based on a graphic novel called Ciudad?
No, I didn't, actually.
Meaning city, and it was written by Andy
Meaning
Parks.
city.
Yes, Ciudad. But written by Andy Parks, Joe Russo, Anthony Russo, Fernando Leon Gonzalez, and Eric Skillman. I had no idea.
No, I had no idea. I did see that yesterday when I was looking at Wikipedia, but
I want to look that up. And it's also a sequel to 2020's Extraction.
Extraction.
It's a distraction, this Extraction. He does not say that in the movie, by the way.
No.
On Rotten Tomatoes, this movie's sitting at 79% tomato meter, 6.6 out of 10, 86% audience score. Starring, of course, Thor and Heimdall. They're in this movie.
This is true, yes.
It's an action movie. Thor and Heimdall, directed by Sam Hargrave. Now, Sam Hargrave has an amazing backstory. He was Chris Evans's Captain America double for like 15 years. Then he went on to be stunt coordinator on the Captain America movies. And now the Russo brothers who wrote this are now helping him take his actioning to another level. So this guy's a stunt coordinator, turned director, did the first movie, did the second movie. Like I said, Chris Hemsworth as Tyler Rake coming back. Oh boy, there's a lot of names here. Golshifteh Farahani playing Nick. Adam Besa playing Yaz. And then, these names, good luck.
A lot of Georgian names. I don't even think you should try because you're gonna butcher them.
The country, not the state. They're playing Georgian terrorist. Tornike Godriciani. That's just one. I'm going to stop there.
You can't. You're not going to be able to do that.
Idris Elba in a small cameo. Thor and Heimdall. Yeah. But returning is the first three, obviously. Chris Hemsworth and then Nick and Yaz. Anthony, catch us up. Where did the first movie end? Where does this one start? What happens?
So I got to be honest. I forgot how this plot of the first movie. So I forget the plot. Wikipedia weird.
Okay.
Read. Excuse me. Not weird. It is kind of weird. You're kind of weird.
I am weird.
Well, the end of the first one, he had saved this kid saved a rich kid's kid from another gang attacking them. And he had got shot in the neck, and he fell into the river.
Fell off a bridge in the river in Bangladesh.
In Bangladesh, your home country.
Yeah, presumed dead.
That's where you're from, right?
It's not my home country.
It used to be Pakistan.
Born in downtown Chicago, fucker. Pakistan is my nationality.
Was it Bangladesh at
used
one
to
point
be
part of Pakistan?
East Pakistan, correct.
That's right. See, I know. Yeah, he was presumed dead, but was found in the river, washed up on a river shore, alive. They rehabbed him back, and they decided, hey, you're gonna sit in a cabin in the middle of nowhere, and you're gonna live a peaceful life.
Oh, enjoy your life. It sounds lovely.
But this Heimdall guy comes around and says, hey, I got something to get you back in the world, back in the game, baby. And he's looking for that juice, and it involves one of his ex-family members. So he's in. He's he's decided, I'm going to back in, and I'm gonna try to rescue this lady and who's his sister, is his wife's sister, ex-wife's sister,
and family,
and their kids from prison because they're locked up in prison with their abusive husband / dad who's part of this gang in Georgia, this syndicate in Georgia called the Nagazi, and they're bad people. And you got to go into jail and get them out and get them away from these bad people. That's the extracting principle of this story.
He's like, I will extract again. What do you need? Vanilla? I'll give you vanilla extract.
Ooh, nothing like a good vanilla extract.
Whatever needs extraction. I'm distraction. Yeah, the setup happens in like the first 20, 30 minutes. You get a great montage of bringing back to life. You get a great training montage. Did you like the training montage? He's getting back into shape, right? It's okay. And we're right into the extraction in the Georgian prison. And overall, Anthony, what'd you think once this movie ended?
Oh man, I was smiling from ear to ear watching this movie.
Oh, nice.
There was lots of moments where I was going, no, whoa, oh fuck, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rug Boy messaged us this, and I completely agree. That, especially that prison extraction
we're going to
scene,
go
which
over
is
this whole scene.
Maybe 21 minutes,
Yes.
I think.
One take, a 21-minute
taker.
oneer.
I mean, it feels like you're watching the best parts of a Call of Duty video game cutscene. And like being in it almost, like you're playing it.
You feel like you're there with them, running around, hiding, ducking. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, this movie is, and then although the action doesn't get to that level again,
right,
it stays pretty good throughout the rest of the movie. I think they blew their load with that scene, but it is an awesome scene.
Absolutely.
And the plot itself is okay. The teenage boy is really fucking annoying.
They always are.
But overall, I think this is a step above the first one, and golly, like Sam Hargrave can fucking direct action,
dude.
And Chris Hemsworth is very believable in the role, and it takes all the things that we talked about in the last tournament with.
Yep.
You can certainly see the Raid influence. You can see the John Wick influence.
Even
Ong
Bak is in here.
Who?
Ong Bak. There's the two things that are like Ong Bak in here.
Okay. I mean, there's so many things that they're doing well. I mean, the prison escape scene is almost like the Raid 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I won't say that they're doing anything better than those movies, but they're doing them really well, and it's really fucking entertaining to watch. And yeah, by the end of this movie, I was like, this is awesome. This was great. I loved it.
It is a fun watch. Sam Hargrave definitely stepping up as one of the better action directors, and even Hemsworth cementing himself as an action star. You see him doing a lot of the stunts, doing a lot of the things. He's invested. He's involved. I think this is one of the better, like the Russo brothers have branched off and taken Marvel actors and done these movies here and there to differing degrees of success. This is one of their better outside collaboration things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the plot needed to be what it was to get it moving. And it's very simple. 3 big action scenes, really. You got that oneer, you got the building, and then you got the final
where they
showdown.
attack the building in Vienna, and then the final in the random forest.
It's a very perfect foundation for an action movie, right? The last one is always one-on-one with the guy. Also reminded me of the end of, was that Ong Bak where he's cutting the heads off the fucking things, the Buddhas? Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit where he like faces off against the last guy. But fuck, I had a good time. I watched that oneer several times.
Oh, it's so good.
And so let's just get into that. This is
this scene is what this movie rests on.
Yeah.
And it's damn good.
So Sam Hargrave gave us a 12-minute oneer in the first movie. And if this is his thing, if this is going to be his signature with these extraction movies, I'm all in, dude. Make it bigger and bigger every time. Like, this is clearly the best. It's the highlight. It's the peak of the movie. This 21-minute oneer goes from a prison brawl to a car chase to a train and helicopter fucking scene. There is amazing, largely practical stunts, and it was shot over months and seamed together to make it presented. Because I was like, there's no way they shot this fucking thing.
No way.
The amount of organization and choreography and timing it would take to do this whole thing, I was like, this is crazy. But the fact that they shot it over months and you can't really tell, it's amazing. It's amazing. So
yeah, it is. I mean, just going from getting them out of jail to the alarm going off to them fighting them out of jail to then them going outside and then fighting everyone through the courtyard with everyone's fighting each other. And that was very much like the raid where everyone's
like
fighting each other.
He is on fire at one point.
Oh, yeah. He's on fire.
And he's
then
punching.
They get in the cars and it's a car chase. And then it's on a train and it's freaking helicopter. I mean,
dude.
I just kept going. I forgot that it was a one take scene.
Yes.
I was literally going, oh my God, this is, I just kept ramping up and I was going, this is awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome. And then I thought back, I was like, wait a minute. They didn't cut.
They did not cut once.
I mean, they stitched it together.
Cleverly,
but
really well done. Really well.
It really felt like you were playing a video game, but in the best way possible. Not like, oh, this looks like a video game. More like it felt like you were playing a one-person RPG video game.
I mean, you have different weapons and vehicles and hand-to-hand combat. I love in the prison brawl where he's fighting and then all of a sudden he gets bonked on the head and the camera
it stops a little bit.
The camera suddenly is connected to him. Like from going free form like you're there, it locks onto him and you're just kind of, and you get the feeling of you're in a daze and then seamlessly pulls out again and gets free. And I was like, holy shit, that's wild. That is so well done. I love that little detail. The car chase. Remember we talked in the raid 2 that camera went in the car and then out. And then he's pretty much shot it. I watched behind the scenes of this whole fucking oneer. He does it the same way. Sam Hargrave actually held the camera a lot in all of this. He'll be inside the car. This camera goes outside the car, goes around, goes in and out several times. It comes, and then the way the car chase ends, it comes out of a bullet hole from Tyler's camera, and then his fucking car gets hit and turns sideways, and it's still a one take. And you see, like, the way they seam that stunt with that. A lot of it, the cars are exploding. There's practical explosives in a lot of these. And then the train, dude. The fucking train. There's a Gatling gun. There's rocket-powered grenades. The helicopters. This is what Hargrave said was the hardest shot, and this was him. That helicopter that landed on the train and the 5 people jump out, right? Mm-hmm. You'll notice the camera, he's walking underneath. It's all real. That happened on a 40-mile-an-hour moving train. All practical. He's walking under with the downdraft of a helicopter that's landing and comes in front, and they jump off. Those actors weren't tethered to anything. They could have fallen and fucking killed themselves. All practical, real fucking shot, and then the thing takes off. And then the train derailing at the end, and you're inside, and you're flipping. Oh,
yeah, you see them flip over, and just. I mean, it was just
thrilling.
In terms of action, it does not get any better than that.
That is amazing.
That was amazing. That was on par with anything you'll see in terms of John Wick or The Raid. I know. I wouldn't say like The Raid is a bit more visceral in terms of the hand-to-hand combat. It's a lot more emphasized.
Yeah.
In John Wick, I think is a little bit more stylized.
Yeah.
But I think it's just as good. I mean, it's almost there. If not there, if we hadn't seen those things, I think we would be like, this is the greatest thing ever.
I mean, I love it's gritty, it's grounded. I love the fact that Sam is there working the camera himself. Mm-hmm. He knows what he wants. He knows the kind of like with working around stunts and things. And there are still probably long takes of this that they filmed. Like if they fucked up, they have to go back to
I don't know. Like the movie magic in that was just, I was like, how do they do this?
Yeah.
So how the fuck did he think about this? And how did he think about where the cameras were going to be going each time? I really got to say, we're in an age of where Bilotti touched on this in terms of where we're at in action films, but I think we're in a really good age in terms of like these directors know how to direct action. Yeah. I know Bilotti, this is where I kind of disagree with Bilotti. Like I think he was a little sour on the direction of action movies. I'm completely opposite. Mm-hmm. I think it's fucking amazing right now.
Not only that, the direction and the stunt choreography and the stunt actors and the fight choreography. I mean, think of like the cool John Wick shit they gave us, the top down, all these crazy shots. This thing, it's just
this thing art. was just insane with the amount of different, because we've seen one takes before.
Yeah.
Now it's fairly common.
Yeah.
You know, you see it in Atomic Blonde, you see it in The Raid, you see it in a freaking.
Half of those movies we talked about last week had one takes.
Protector, you know, you see it, but the fact that this one was going from inside to
Yep.
outside
Yep.
to car to
Yep.
train to
Yep.
on top the train to
Yep.
like
in the
different-
train. Ugh.
Yeah, with helicopters and I mean it was just
Fucking
insane.
You got your great close quarters fighting where he's right on them and he's just shooting them with a handgun, very John Wick raid style.
Yep.
But then you have crazy RPGs and helicopters. Well, holy shit, dude! It is a work of art. Like,
Yeah, it was great. It topped, and we thought in the first one the one take in the car was great, but this one it just blew
absolutely
that shit
topped.
out of the way.
That first one, it was in the car, and then it goes in the building, and then it goes out the building and up and in the other building. Like that's all very good when they're running around, but this is on another level. Like
But
I don't.
once the train got involved, I was like, holy
you're like,
fuck.
I'm like, this is still fucking going. What the fuck? Look at these helicopters.
And
Jesus.
then the dudes get in the dudes jump on the train and they like breach the side and you see them jump in.
Yeah.
And it just was like, this is like a video game.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like
It was
Call of Duty.
amazing. It was amazing. I mean, the action scene later with them attacking the building in Vienna was also really solid. I enjoyed.
That one's pretty good.
That one's pretty good. It's not as good, obviously.
Yeah.
But I liked the drama of them fighting on top of the glass and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you got the rooftop thing and her sliding and he's hanging there and he shoots his hand and they got a fight up there.
I think the one of the things this movie a little bit suffers from is it doesn't get as good as that first scene or that first action scene.
Yeah.
But I also think the villain is not that imposing.
Yeah.
And
This
that's
guy won't
probably
stop.
because Chris Hemsworth is just a giant dude. But I just didn't feel believably like he could take him on hand to hand, and obviously he couldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, going back to that one more thing on that fucking prison break scene. There were plenty of moments where I went, "Oh!"
Yeah.
But one of them when he fucking tears that dude's hand in half.
Oh, he rips it. Yeah, he rips it
his
in
hand.
half. Yeah.
And they cut to it and his hand is like
It's like
in half.
apart. Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
I love that she had a shovel too and she's fucking taking people out.
Yeah.
The moment I did that in that one was when he fucking pummels the guy in the face with the dumbbell.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Do you notice all the gym equipment that they use to fucking kill and maim people, especially in the building?
Dumbbell was a brutal one.
The dumbbell into the face.
There were plenty of ones too where they did this thing, and I've seen this in The Raid and other movies, but every time I went, "Oh!" is when they'd stick the knife in someone.
Oh yeah.
And then they drag it up their leg.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
their arm, and I'm like, "Oh!"
A lot of stabbing of limbs.
And then they at one point, I forget who, they grind someone's face into glass.
No, when he kills the guy's dad, when he kills the dad of the couple, he like presses it against the hot furnace.
Yeah,
Maybe he
yeah.
does the glass too.
Yeah, I think there's one where they grind someone's face against glass.
I mean, there's so much action fight choreography in here. Classic
It's
stunts.
so good.
It's so well done.
Is there anything you didn't like?
I mean,
The teenage boy?
the kid's a little annoying. I was pissed that he's dumb and he called them. I love that line when the bad guy's like, "Well, if you wanted her alive, you should have called us." I was like, "You fucking idiot! What are you doing? Why are you believing these fuckers?" But they're trying to get him. So that was a little annoying. Like, why, but it sets up the action scene. They find him. They can't hide from him.
Yeah, I was looking on Letterboxd, and Letterboxd liked it, but a lot of people were commenting how the dialogue wasn't that great, and the Russos can't write a great plot, and how the rest of the people were boring.
I mean, I'll tell you what, though. I got invested. I loved Nick and Yaz, brother-sister team, or their handlers. I did not want either of them to die, and I was really sad when fucking
I
Yaz.
agree. I like Nick and Yaz. I don't even
They're great.
remember that they were in the first movie.
Me neither.
But apparently they were. And
They were.
I like Nick and Yaz. I was even invested in the sister-in-law's plight and all that shit. So I was over the moon about mostly everything. I was like, Chris Hemsworth with this and now being Thor has established himself as a pretty solid action star.
And it's another movie where the same thing happened in Secret Invasion. He kills his second in command for kind of dissenting.
Oh, yeah.
Same fucking thing. So, yeah, you got that. I also love whenever they do the elevator grenade fucking trick when the doors open and there's a grenade there. That was good. So they get away. Yaz dies, but then the guy's like, a final confrontation at this airfield. And I love Tyler going in by himself with a fucking grenade launcher, just blowing shit up.
I loved. I don't
Left
know
and
why
right.
I loved it so much, but maybe because it's the obvious thing to do. But mostly, a lot of those in the action movies, the bad guy will escape and they have to like jump on a plane or and chase him. But
Yeah.
he just like goes in and blows up the plane.
He's
and
like,
cars.
fuck this, I'm
He's like, you're
going
never
in."
escaping this.
This is very typical end of like a lot of these action movies, right? Like the bad guy tries to have the kid shoot Tyler.
Yeah.
And then they got
a little cliche.
Then they got a brawl, and also they do a great job with using the environment as weapons, whatever's around. There's
he throws
hammers,
nails at him, and then
throws nails at him.
Tyler puts nails into his like leg as he's
they
crawling.
start fucking stabbing the shit out of him.
I loved when they're both laying next to each other, and he's like, "I'll never stop
And then
coming for you," and he just casually shoots him in the head.
It's like, I need to lie
as they're
down.
laying down next to
he's
each other.
Like, blam. I need a rest after that. You do get that. You feel exhausted, like he went through a bunch of shit. Like it does kind of not as much as like a John Wick, right?
Well, he didn't go as much. I mean, he didn't fall down 150,000 stairs like
3
John
times,
Wick, but you know, he went through some shit for sure.
And then where does it end? They make you think Nick also dies, but it turns out she survives, and they are both in a prison. Where are they? Are they in Georgia? Yeah.
I think they're in a not in Georgia. I think they're in an Austrian prison.
Oh, they're in an Austrian prison.
I think. I'm not 100%.
And Idris Elba shows up again. He goes, "Want to get out? I got another job for you." And there's going to be, so they don't kill him this time. It's interesting, like the last one. There will be a third movie, I'm assuming.
Gotta be, right?
I think they've already greenlit a third one. You know what? You can make fucking 12 of these.
Make as many of these as possible.
I want I want a 36-minute oneer, Sam Hargrave. Can you give me that? Just make the oneer. But I do feel like the oneer should be the fucking climax of the movie.
Yeah, that would be the only thing. Is I think
would be
you're
great.
right. I think what they need to do is they're blowing their load by doing these in the middle, and I think it would, if they could end on that note. If imagine this movie ends on that, I would have just
God.
fucking. I think I would have keeled over and just pulled the bukkake all over myself like millions of times.
It's
There's
not
just
even
been-
the middle. It's like the first like 25, 30 minutes. It's very soon, and it's the first big scene.
Oh, I know. When that ended and they finally like let up, I paused the movie and I went, "Oh my god, there's
Really
like an
halfway-
hour and a half
Yes.
left in this movie, or like there's like an hour left in this movie."
I did feel it was after the building scene. I was like, wait, there's still a bunch of, there's like a half an hour left.
when they were coming towards the
He's gotta
building in
get
the
'em.
helicopters, I was like, "Oh, this is the climax."
Right, that's what I thought. And they get away, and I'm like, wait, that guy's still alive. There's still a half an hour left. What the fuck? So maybe a little clunky ending, rush to the whatever, but you get a little bit of time with his ex-wife, and you get the resolution of him and his son and how he thought he walked away from his dying son. But she's like, no, he saw you walking away as a hero, going to Afghanistan.
Yeah,
whatever.
they're trying to add a little more heart to it, and it's okay.
It works.
But the movie rests completely on the shoulders of the direction of action, and it is. I mean, these directors, man. I wrote this down. I literally wrote down these directors, man, because you got like. I mean, Sam Hargrave is up there now, in my opinion, with Stahelski
with David Leitch,
and and McQuarrie does it differently, but in terms of action directors, like these guys are all doing it.
Absolutely,
it's fucking amazing. Anybody that's like, oh man, the 80s is for sure. It was just better. It's objectively not.
I mean,
they're different. I mean, the eras are completely different, so you can't really. They're not apples to apples. But to not appreciate this, I think, is you're doing yourself a disservice.
This is top-notch action directing. McQuarrie, man, he can set up those stunts. You know how much fucking coordination that takes to pull off crazy Tom Cruise stunts, and he does it, and it makes it look. I can't wait for that movie.
Yeah, I'm looking up right now the best action movie directors right now.
Oh, what list? Let's see who comes up on the list.
What
I'm telling you, it's going to be all those people. Who else will
10
be on there?
directors that are rule. Then I'm just pulling up Collider.
Okay.
David Leitch.
Okay.
Oh, they're saying the Russo brothers. Interesting.
Well, yeah.
Stahelski.
Yeah.
McQuarrie.
Yeah.
Oh, they're saying Justin Lin.
Okay, for fast.
Gareth Evans.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, this one. Gina Prince Bythewood.
Oh, Blythewood. Yeah. What did she do? She did a Marvel movie.
The Secret Life of Bees and Love and Basketball. Oh, interesting. Well, the early
she was going to do a Marvel thing.
Oh, she did Old Guard and then The Woman King.
Oh, Charlize Theron, and she did Woman King. Oh, I heard the action, and that is good. I still have to watch that. Okay, yeah.
Michael Bay. Matthew Vaughn, your boy Kingsman.
What's he done?
Guy
lately?
Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie's got a new movie coming out, I think.
So that Collider had that as of 2022.
No Sam Hargrave. Okay, you got to add.
Well,
Sam
that was
Hargrave.
2022.
Yeah, you got to add Sam Hargrave.
You got to add Sam Hargrave.
Yeah.
But
Here's
fuck,
my the two Ong Bak things I noticed.
Okay.
Tyler Rake on fire, punching.
Yeah, because
right,
Tony Jaa does it with his legs.
With his legs, and then did you notice Tyler Rake blocking a saw with his forearms? Tell him this is a direct tribute. It has to be a direct nod to that scene in Ong Bak. He has both of his forearms up. The guy's coming at him with the fucking saw.
I forgot about that. That was another scene where I went, oh
yeah, and I was like, Ong Bak. That was in Ong Bak.
Oh yeah, no, I was in pain.
Yeah, no, it's very.
I
visceral.
love a good action movie that makes me go, oh.
Yeah, you want your action movie to make you go, oof, oh, shit,
Yeah,
ow. I can't watch this.
You want to react in pain, but not like in horror.
Yeah,
it's different than a horror scene. You want to react like, oh shit,
like you know what that feels like, and it don't feel good.
But it happens so fast, and they're moving on to the next thing.
Yes.
That's the best part.
Let me ask you this: can Hemsworth and Hargrave make Tyler Rake a thing, like a household name? I know they're trying.
It's hard to gauge because I don't know what the Netflix, it being on Netflix.
Yeah.
But maybe this is the appropriate place for it. I don't know. I hope they do because this. Fuck, man. I mean, pound for pound, these two movies are. They can go up against anything. Like they're good. They're fucking solid ass action movies. If you like fucking action, these are good action movies. Even borderline great at some points.
Would this have made the tournament?
Oh yes, this was. This one would have taken Extraction's place for sure, and I think it could have had a nice run. The only thing that's going against it is it's not necessarily the most revolutionary thing in terms of plot,
right?
But I mean, the action is fucking insane. And if you look at like the movies that did make it, it's not like these are super plot heavy films. The ones that made it to the final four.
Yeah, that's true. It's all about
like
the action.
Raid and John Wick Chapter 4.
Yeah.
You really watching those for the plot?
No.
Those were the
simple.
finalists.
Yeah. Even Mad Max, the plot was simple. Drive to the end and then they got to drive back.
Yeah, Mad Max was just a visual masterpiece. And, or you even look at Fallout's kind of a plot movie. But, like, it's fucking action, man. I wouldn't classify this movie as, like, turn your brain off action.
Yeah.
Where you're like, this is stupid.
Right.
This is, like, just intense action.
Well done. You can follow everything.
By the end of the movie, I was like, what other action movies are there? I want to watch some more shit.
It does. It makes you want to watch action movies. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah,
it was great.
You can follow all the action. It's super. It's just amazing what he did. Okay, final thoughts. Let's give it a rating. What are you going to say?
Oh, man. I
know. It's hard.
I'm going to change after I watched the movie, I was flipping back and forth between 4 out of 5 or 4.5 out of 5.
On Letterboxd.
And I was at 4 out of 5, which would make that an 8 out of 10. But I just flipped it.
Oh,
we're going 4.5 out of 5, which means that's a 9 out of 10.
Shit!
I loved this movie. I like I told you before, and I'll say it again. I was grinning ear to ear watching this fucking thing. I was white knuckle riveted, pain, out loud yelling. I mean, fuck, man, that was awesome.
Better than the first one for you.
Oh yeah, better than much better. Characters aren't as annoying, and just better action. Even better action. Just fuck. Yeah, that was so good.
That was very good. I have no problem. So I would say, look, you owe it to yourself, listener, to watch that one-er. This is a fucking a master class in doing a one-er action scene the way he's done this. It is the peak of the movie and it's in the beginning, but it's absolutely worth watching the whole thing for this. I got no problem. I'll give it a 9 as well. Fuck. I think I also think it's a little bit better than the first one.
How far do you think it would have gone in the tournament?
Oh, fuck, man. I think it would have gone. What did Extraction go up against? It would have gone as far as Extraction went.
If we play it went up against Bourne Ultimatum. It's definitely better than Bourne Ultimatum.
Yes, Extraction.
It went up against Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh shit! And then
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, more influential. This one obviously just came out, so you can't really. I just would have picked Extraction 2.
Fuck.
So then it would have went up against the Raid.
Oh man,
that would have been a fun match. So we'll just kind of leave it there.
Yeah. Oh shit. It could have.
the Raid. This movie doesn't happen without the Raid. But
right.
Golly.
Right. The Raid one.
Raid 1, yeah.
But fuck, man, Sam Hargrave, keep doing it. And
yeah, man. I mean,
wanna see more.
hopefully he's trying to make this a thing. Hopefully he gets some other opportunities to do some other shit, or maybe this is all he wants to do. I don't know, but he is a fucking good action.
And
director.
I mean, maybe use Idris Elba. What the fuck is he doing in this movie? Just for like 2 minutes in the top and at the bottom. I don't understand.
You know what I think happened is I think they spent most of their money on Chris Hemsworth and directing these action scenes, and they were like, we can fill it up with cheap actors and actresses from Georgia, the country.
Oh yeah,
but we got just enough to squeeze in Idris Elba for about 3 minutes.
Let's get an Idris Elba in there. How much money we got?
How much money left? What do we got left?
We got about a 3-minute Idris left.
What if we pool all our money together and we can probably get Idris Elba for about 45 seconds?
Done. Make it happen.
Wait, empty your piggy bank. Okay, we got him for 50 seconds.
I was just like, it was so funny. I was like, the fuck you doing in this movie? Just coming up and being like, they didn't even tell him his name.
No.
He's like, I got a job for you.
When he came in the first time, I paused it and I looked at Wikipedia. I was like, was he in the first movie?
No.
he
was not. All right, solid 9s from the both of us. Good fucking movie. Check it out.
Well, you know what they're doing? This one real quick. I think they're spending all their money on Hemsworth and these action scenes because the first movie is like a bunch of unknown Bangladesh actors and actresses.
I love them. They were great.
And then this one, it's a bunch of Georgians.
Like,
I think what they're going to do is they're going to keep going to these countries that are not always featured in these action movies.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, all you local talent, do you want to get put in this movie and get killed by Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah, we'll give you a platform to be famous.
Next one, they're going to Bolivia for sure. No. What's an unknown? They should go to like Trinidad and Tobago.
How about Guyana? Nobody goes
go to French Guiana.
Nobody goes to Guyana. My uncle lives there.
Your uncle?
Yeah. Extraction 3. What is it? It's been confirmed by Netflix. I think that's all we have. So
in development.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe Tolerate can be a thing. We'll see.
I don't know, but what definitely a thing was that fucking one shot.
Yes, it was great. Okay, let's do some news from the nation. Anthony, I'm going to need you to do the sound effects. There we go.
It's time for
do Rug's part
from the nation.
It's time for news from the nation.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks. Get the fuck out of here. What?
Oh my god. Oh, that person needs to go see a doctor.
Oh god. Oh man, I had to
oh, you okay there?
I have to check my pants.
Did you hurt yourself?
I think I got a hemorrhoid after that. Oh my god.
Get some preparation H. Put some Gold Bond on it.
I'm gonna shove some Gold Bond up my ass after we're done. Whew. All right,
okay.
I think we're good.
Take a breath there. Well,
fuck. You don't need Rug Boy anymore. We got me.
We got everything. That was painful. I got some comments from our group members about our action movie tournament. If you haven't checked it out, last week we did the 21st Century Action Movie Tournament, and it was a lot of fun. Blake Braden says, okay, 10 picks in, and I'm about ready to riot. I'm not sure if I can finish the pod, LOL.
Oh, shit.
Wow. Got controversial.
Blake, I'd like to hear of those. What was the one that was you were going to riot for? Which one was the one that's pushed you over the top?
It might be this one, because Jamie Robinson commented on that saying, choosing a bunch of oversized water smurfs over Ip Man in an action film bracket is just a disgusting misuse of power. Well, it may be, but then this is our tournament. That's what happened.
That was an interesting call. I mean, yeah, that was in an action movie tournament. That was tough.
It was Ruggs. He's the one who gave it to it, and he had good reason. Dion Robertson says Ong Bak over Kill Bill hurts.
Yeah, that's a tough. That was another
tough one. That was another.
That was a tough one. I like Ong Bak. That was tough. That was tough to see.
I know.
It was a good matchup, but I mean, Kill Bill is a better movie. Those are better movies. But I see what the point. I see.
Yes.
That was tough.
That was hard because he's the originator. He's the OG. He's the Tony Jub and all.
Mm-hmm. But the impact Kill Bill.
Yes.
1 and 2. But dealing with some action snobs.
What happened? Adam Morris said, great episode, boys, and a surprising but fair turnout, I think. He liked the turnout.
Yeah.
And Brian Goff just said, fantastic episode.
Well,
so
thank you.
People loved it, and I think we got a lot of visceral reactions. It was great. It's a good listen. Ruggs, every time his painful fucking outbursts are the best.
Oh, whenever he would yell, "Oh my god!" That and him asking if Jet Li was still alive.
Jet is also great.
Is he died? What?
Is Jet Li still alive? What are you talking about? Okay, let's finish with some. What are we watching, Anthony? You watch anything else fun?
No, I had to catch up on the 2 Secret Invasions and Extraction 2, so I did not get to watch anything else, but I might try to pop in some action movies this week just for fun.
Right? I got in a rhythm of watching these, and I'm like, I got to watch an action movie a week now, just because it's fun.
It is fun. When you get a good one, it is fun.
Yes, it is. And did we get a good one? Here's what I watched. Like I said earlier,
tell us about this.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
You could pay us and get his instant reaction, but now he's going to give us his delayed reaction.
I'll give you the quick delayed reaction. Of course, this is the swan song for this character, Harrison Ford, 80 years old. It's the first film that is not directed by Steven Spielberg or has any George Lucas. It is James Mangold. And going into this, I don't know why. I wanted to see it to see if we're going to review it. I wanted to see it because I remember seeing Temple of Doom in the theater when I was a kid and falling in love with Indiana Jones. The first 3 movies are great. Then you get the 4th one, not so great. And then a lot of time passes, and I wanted a nice swan song for Indy. So overall, what did I think? It was just okay. It was a little disappointing. The best things was seeing Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones was great. Seeing him as an 80-year-old Indiana Jones, maybe not so great, but back on the screen, the music, the score, I thought it was great to hear this music again. And just the fact that there's Indiana Jones in the theater in 2023, I was like, I got to be there. And they hit all the bits. They give you the greatest hits from kind of the first 3 movies. It's kind of like a Force Awakens. There's a lot of nostalgia. In the beginning, it starts with an extended de-aged 25-minute action scene on a train with a de-aged Harrison Ford. The de-aging looked okay for the most part, but then when he talks, it's like old Harrison Ford voice. It kind of like takes you out of it. And he's doing... The thing is with this whole movie, he's 80 years old. He's on a horse. He's on a train. They go underwater. There's so many set pieces for some reason. I'll try. There might be some spoilers. Hold on. Let me do this.
Spoiler alert.
The thing is, in the first 3 movies, like you knew Harrison Ford did a lot of his stunts, and it felt real. It felt like he's hanging on the side of this tank. It felt like he's actually swinging and riding and doing these things. And in this one, you're like, he's 80 years old. There's no way. This is all green screen. It's not going to happen. I mean, he's in the subway on a horse being chased by a train. It's crazy. So it felt kind of like soulless, I guess is the word. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the movie. Like, Mangold is great at the gritty stuff, like Logan and Ford versus Ferrari. Now, I don't know if he was the best choice for this because every Indiana Jones has an air of fantasy and some supernatural thing. And it just felt like they were going through the motions, and they did shit like, oh, I remember they did that in the 3rd movie. Oh, that's from that movie. And it was great to see, but I don't know. It wasn't okay. And the way it ends, oh my God, that does a crazy thing at the end. It's almost as bad as the aliens at the end of Crystal Skull. I don't want to spoil it if anybody hasn't seen it. But it's a crazy ending, and it was, I don't know. It was just okay. It was just okay. On Rotten Tomatoes, currently, it is sitting at 68%, 6.4 out of 10 tomato meter, 88% audience. Also, box office wise, this movie was made for like $300 fucking million. I'm like, you didn't need to make a $300 million Indiana Jones movie. What are you doing? It only made $60 million opening weekend, and it's only sitting at like 130 worldwide. Same numbers as The Flash. What is it? It's 150 now?
150, yeah. It made 82 in the U.S. in U.S. and Canada, sorry. So but 150 total.
Similar, it just performed a little bit above The Flash, but another kind of box office letdown. I don't know what's happening with movies. There's been a bunch of flops, and this is like another big flop. So
yeah, it's not good for movies. But I think I'm reading here the majority of the opening weekend audience was over 35.
Oh,
so you're not really hitting a young crowd with this, and
you can't walk into this movie like you have to know all the Indiana Jones movies too. It's not an entry point into Indiana Jones, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you got to be an indie fan, and it's just tough because I think a lot of what made Indiana Jones is, it's this adventure with this guy, Harrison Ford, and he's doing all these things, and, he's in the first one, he's literally hanging from a side of a car and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just tough when the guy's, in his 80s, and he looks like he's in his 80s. It's just not as believable. And I haven't seen the movie, but I knew this was going to be something hard to get over. This is a really old man.
Yeah, and okay, so wait, a couple other things. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, she's okay as the goddaughter. They do an interesting thing where she's like not exactly on his side. She just wants to cash out. They have a little bit of chemistry. It is fucking long. It's 2.5 hours long. It does not need to be fucking 2.5 hours. There were parts I was bored. There's parts where I was bored, and at that moment I was like, we can't review this. I can't have Anthony watch it. You are not going to care one fuck all about anything that happens to this Indiana Jones if you're didn't grow up with the Indiana Jones or whatever, right?
I'm gonna say something blasphemous. I saw one of the other ones, but I definitely saw the first one to prep for 80s one.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was all right.
Dude, Raiders of the Lost Ark is the best one out of all of them.
That's the first one, right?
That's the first one. If I had to rank them, like Temple of Doom is my favorite only because I was a kid when I watched it. But as far as quality movies, Raiders of the Ark is the best one. Number 2, I would put the third one, Last Crusade, which ironically is the perfect fucking ending for this Indiana Jones trilogy. Like, you didn't need to make another movie after that. It ends great and it closes it out and it's satisfying. Then Temple of Doom, I would put 3. Then this one, Dial of Destiny at 4, and Crystal Skull. Nothing is as bad as Shia LaBeouf swinging through the trees with monkeys. That's happens. It happens in that movie. He swings like monkeys through. It just makes no sense. And then there's like fucking aliens. It's not good. So it's not as bad as Crystal Skull, but it's not one of the great ones. Maybe if I watch it again, it'll spark something. It didn't have that magic. Didn't have that spark that first 3 movies had.
Yeah,
and it's just time. It's just time.
I think it's been time. And Spielberg did the 4th one, and that one wasn't good.
Yes, he did do the 4th one, and somehow that script came out all wonky. But yeah, I appreciated the callbacks and the cameos, and fucking Antonio Banderas is in this movie for like 4 minutes for some reason.
Did they set it up in any way that they can continue this?
Technically, sort of, yes.
Okay.
The Thing, I don't want to spoil the end, but
okay.
Yeah, he kind of leaves it ambiguous, but he just needs to rest. So the one good thing, kind of the great thing that they did in this is the majority of it takes place, the Indiana Jones movies takes place in the 30s and 40s, like pre-World War, World War II. This one, the present time is 69. If the Apollo 11 had just landed or went into space, landed on the moon, there's a ticker tape parade. But when it does that flashback in 44 at the end of World War II, and when it cuts to 69, we see poor Indiana alone and like with not a lot of money, no fame, all that traversing the world and adventure got him jack shit. No fame, no fortune. It's kind of sad. They made him a sad character, which they kind of did. Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy, they did that with Luke Skywalker kind of in Last Jedi, right? Made him a bitter old man. They kind of make him, but it cuts with the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour playing, and you suddenly realize, like, holy shit, at this point, like, rock and roll would have been the annoying music to him, and it would have been new, and there's war protests and hippies, and it's like a whole different world. I wish they had dealt a little bit more with that, but they didn't. But I thought that was an interesting angle. But it's just okay. Like, if you're a hardcore Indiana Jones fan, go see it. It's fucking long, I guess, but it just didn't have the spark. It was kind of boring. Side note, speaking of Raiders of the Lost Ark, I forgot to plug, I made a guest appearance on another podcast. It's called the TV.
Are you cheating on us again?
I am cheating on you guys.
Shit.
I went this guy, Brian Sheehan, he's a really nice dude. He has this, it's a PG podcast, TV and movie trivia. It's the second time I've been on. The first time I did Iron Man as he started his journey through the MCU. And for this one, to get hype for Indiana Jones, I did trivia for Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's episode 143 of TV and Movie Trivia Podcast. I will put the link in the show notes. Go listen to it. It's a fun listen.
Look at you.
So,
spreading your wings.
And I'm sparing you watching Indiana Jones.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Fucking hate me, and I wouldn't blame you. We don't have to review. A couple other things I want to mention real quick. Superman and Lois season 3 has ended. They aired the finale. Wow, what a show! Slight spoiler alerts. If you're gonna watch this,
Spoiler alert.
we have another version of Lex Luthor and another version of Doomsday taking on Superman as this season ends. You know who's playing Lex Luthor?
Who?
Michael Cudlitz. You may remember him as Abraham from The Walking Dead. Remember Abraham?
Oh, yeah.
Big dude, red hair, beard. He's playing him with like a big beard and he's bald. And he's not bad. He's kind of intimidating. In the show, at the end, there's a Bizarro Superman who's there the season before. And Luthor turns Bizarro Superman into fucking Doomsday. And they have this fucking brawl in the season finale that's pretty dope. They go to the fucking moon. They're destroying things. It's a really good Doomsday battle. Dare I say, even better, possibly the Batman versus Superman. So that was fun to watch. Also, they gave Lois Lane a double mastectomy with the breast cancer storyline. I was like, wow, you're going all in.
They really went all in.
They went all in and had to do the surgery, and then there's like a whole scene where she's ready to have sex again with Clark, and there's like a little lovey scene. I was like, wow.
But she has no boobs?
Yes, because she was afraid of showing, and she's like, okay, Clark, I'm ready. I'm comfortable. I was like, wow,
that's
dude,
intense.
It's crazy. They give her cancer, they give her double mastectomy. I can't believe it. Here's the kicker of this whole thing. All the CW shows have been canceled. Gotham Knights had that one season. They did a Harvey Dent, canceled. Flash, Arrowverse, all that shit canceled. This was the last remaining show, and it was on the bubble. It is getting renewed for a 4th season, but there is a but. They are cutting all the extra supporting characters have been cut from the show. They're not regulars anymore. So they were setting up storylines with John Henry, with Lana Lang and her husband and her daughter, General Lane, Lois's father, all these storylines, this girl, that reporter, all those people have been cut for season 4. So, and it ends with mid-battle with Superman and Doomsday still fighting, like in front of the moon. It's fucking dope. But I don't know how they're going to explain all these people are not going to be there when the show comes back. So CW was sold to Nexstar. They're trying to reduce costs. They're probably going to cut the budget of the show. They cut all the extra characters. It will have a 4th season. I'll be there. It's a fucking great show. I really love this Superman and Lois.
Well, yeah, I've heard it's good. I've heard good things.
And then one last show that you might be interested to check out. Speaking of Idris Elba, he has a new show on Apple TV Plus. It's called Hijack. And it is a 7-hour episode series about Idris Elba on a plane that gets hijacked. Here's what I love. They're doing the thing that I loved about the show 24 with Kiefer Sutherland. Every season was 24 episodes, 1 hour, real time, one crazy day in the life of Jack Bauer, where he never went to the bathroom or ate any fucking food or drank water. I don't know how this happened. We're watching every minute of this guy's life. But this 7 episodes, he is on a 7-hour flight from Dubai to Heathrow, London. And in the first hour, the hijack starts. So every episode, there's only 2 out. They come out weekly. Every episode is an hour in real time on this hijack plane. He plays a negotiator. So he's a guy that comes in when deals fall apart, gets people to come together. And there's people on the ground and stuff. But it's pretty good. Like, the first episode is tense as fuck. And Idris Elba is just cool, man. He's just like a cool dude that
he is a cool guy.
Fuck shit up. So if anybody likes that kind of stuff, hijack stuff, it's just called Hijack. Apple TV Plus.
Look at you. Just watching everything.
Oh my God, there's so many things. I finished Black Mirror season 5 episodes. Fantastic. My favorite still has to be Joan is Awful, but Devon 79 was good. Star Trek Strange New Worlds is really good. That's come back. I got to finish Silo. Oh my God.
How do you have it all the time? Do you go outside? You don't. That's
no, I don't.
You don't
it's
outside.
because it's hot in the sun out there and I get burned. There's bees, there's fucking bugs and ants and beads and shit.
It's like a burned.
I want to do that. Is It Cake 2? Second season of that show, Is It Cake, which is amazing, is on. So there's lots to watch. Anyways, that's all. Secret Invasion continuing. Okay. Anything else, Anthony? Final words.
Well, it's after the 4th, so hopefully you guys are all still around and have all your hands and
fingers
limbs still intact.
Yes.
Because a lot of people blow their hands off their
yes
bodies.
Hopefully,
don't do that.
Yes, use fire safety.
Yeah. That's all I got.
That's it. Be good to each other, listener. All the links can be found on our website. Check out the show notes, episode description, and most importantly, share the show, spread the geekery, send it to your friends. Thank you for listening to the Jock and Nerd Podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
We'll peep you next time.
I fucking loved it. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's really good.